Devin, you shaved.
Wait,
I
what?
had a
Yeah.
first birthday party to go to.
Wow.
You
Yeah,
can
it's
shave.
just I went a little shorter than I wanted to, but say lovey, still something on my face.
It looks good.
Yeah.
I try.
All right, so
Yeah.
welcome to Take That. I'm Kyle. This is JM and Devin, and we're
That's me.
excited again to have you guys here. We got a few topics today. We're going to update the X Factors because it's been a while since we've done them, probably since episode 2 or something. Then basically, we're going to do a group of actors to make our ideal sitcom. And there can be repeats of names. The actor has to be what they are now, as in their age, their status, how popular they are, etc.
Being alive is a big help.
And being alive, they have to be alive. And the other topic we're going to talk about are the no hitters that have happened so far this year,
Should
and
we start with that then?
we
Oh my
might as
goodness.
well. Considering that we might break the record. I can't believe it.
Would it? But
Um,
you know, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we go the rest of the season without a no hitter either.
Yeah, not at
yeah,
all.
I can see that.
Like just the mad flurry of no nos, which, let's face it, they're only happening just to 3 teams: the
Texas.
Texas Rangers, Baltimore Orioles, and the Seattle Mariners. And if you were to
No, it's the
tell me,
Indians.
oh, those teams would
It's
be
the
no hit
Indians.
this year, yeah,
It was the
I wouldn't have been
Indians.
surprised at all.
Indians were the one no hit twice. Actually, the
Oh,
Orioles have a no hitter with John
that's
Means.
right. Yeah, the Orioles do have the no hitter. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Cleveland, it's Seattle, and it's Texas. Which, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe the American League should add some pitchers, to get some offense into these games.
Well, you know how it is. The National League is the pitching division, AL's the hitting division.
Well, let's make both of them hitting divisions and get pitchers in on the hitting in the American League. Come on, let's go.
I just want to give a quick shout out. I went to New Haven, Connecticut yesterday, tried some New Haven style pizza. Sally's a pizza and Frank Pepe's. They're both excellent pizza. Sally's a solid 9.1. Frank Pepe's a solid 8.6. That's the reveal.
I saw
Yeah.
your Instagram story and you were like, it's a 9.1, and John was like, it's an 8.6.
No, it's a 9.1. It's a 9.1.
For anyone who doesn't know, the knows that have happened this year. There's Joe Musgrove of the San Diego Padres,
That
Carlos
was
Rodon
so great.
of the White Sox, John Means of the Baltimore Orioles, Wade Miley of the Cincinnati Reds, Spencer Turnbull of the Detroit Tigers, which is a very shocker, and Corey Kluber of the Yankees. And there is maybe one.
There should be a 7th. You're
There
right,
could
Mad
be a
Pump.
7th. There could be a
Yeah,
7th.
the Mad Bomb.
It's a very debatable topic, but Madison Bumgarner got a no hitter in 7 innings and not a
The
full.
reason I will say that Mad Bomb's no does not count is just because it can't spoil, or because Mad Bomb only got 21 outs. He still had 2 more innings to go. I don't want to belittle the no hitter. You got to go the complete game, which is at least 9 innings.
But the rule, I mean, I'm not a
It's
Mad
like
Pump.
a Astros World Series. It comes with that asterisk.
Anything can happen in 2 innings. That's the problem.
Exactly. How many times have we seen the
hashtag.
no hitter get broken up in the bottom of the 9th?
Yeah.
Or the top of the 9th?
And it becomes
Ooh,
a
man.
1 hitter.
Yep.
I always like John Means. I saw him the last 2 years. He's been good.
We'll have to go through the archive.
I expected him to be good this year, and I know a lot of people don't expect Baltimore players to be good, and you got to think twice otherwise because they got some
They're
players.
not Seattle.
No. Unfortunately,
sir.
Seattle's beating me right now, which is really
Oh,
killing me. But anyway,
Uh,
let me go to my Carlos Rodon really quick. He literally made one of my matchup weeks as a winner. So that was one of probably my favorite no hitter to watch.
mine was Joe Musgrove.
I
Obviously.
can guarantee that. Yeah,
wow. Shocker.
he was
Wouldn't have been able to guess
one.
that.
He was the first no hitter, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness. You should have seen me jumping up and down, yelling.
Pitt had a player there, and they jumped on it.
Yeah. Well, he's a San Diego kid.
Well, do we think that these no hitters play a large point of the baseballs being altered? Because let's face it, hits are down across the board, runs are down.
I think it's.
I mean, for crying out loud, we're having this many no hitters already in the season with the frequency we're seeing them.
Put
I
it
don't
this
think it's.
way.
Did
Put it
baseball
this way.
overcorrect it, trying to go from home run to happy to this?
We're still seeing a lot of dingers.
I think it's half and half because 3 of the pitchers are actually really good, and the no hitter is just kind of a cherry on top of those players, which is Musgrove, Rodon, and John Means. The other 3, I thought they're good pitchers, but they're not as great
I
as
mean, I would
those
have put
top
Kluber in
3.
that class of the good players, and then the other
Yeah.
guys, like,
Who,
let's face it,
Kluber?
what have these other guys done in their career? Nothing.
Kluber, you just
Kluber
said?
is a previous Cy Young winner.
No, I understand that. I just kind of knew he was gonna be a little downhill, at least in the beginning of this year. But
Well, yeah, I don't think anyone expected Kluber to throw a no
Well,
hitter.
I think what it is with the no hitters and maybe hits being down across the board is it's the strategy now is all about launch angle and getting those home runs. So it's almost like a home run or bust situation.
But
So
that's how
strikeout.
it's been for the past 5, 6 years, and there's like offenses were
Right.
skyrocketing. Now they altered the ball, and balls that were going out 5, 6 rows deep last year are barely making it to the warning track. So it's not just
Maybe.
purely the launch angle. I definitely think the ball has something to do with it. It's not like this year they just decided, okay, all that launch angle stuff, yeah, now we're just not going to do it or whatever. It's more of a. I think the ball
Right.
plays a bigger role into it.
Right.
here's a question: do you think Wade Miley's no hitter was a by chance thing, or do you think he's actually has more of a ongoing stretch?
Wade
I
Miley.
think definitely the opponent definitely played a big help in that. Because that was another Cleveland. That was one of the 2 Cleveland no-nos, right? Or the
Yeah,
times they got no-noed
it was Cleveland.
against Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like they're a team in flux. I mean, Texas is a team in flux. The Mariners are a team in flux. Like they're just young and not that good right now. That's the kind of the key with all these teams. Like there's just not that much offense. I don't think on any of those teams. You're not looking at any of those lineups now and being like, oh my god.
I read an article on ESPN the other week, and it was about it wasn't about no hitters, but it was about strikeouts coming up. And I read a crazy fact: Tony Gwynn never struck out. He did not strike out more than 40 times in a season. My dad met a guy on a plane, and the guy was like a chief executive on the San Diego Sports Hall of Fame, and he gave me I actually got gifted. I'll show a little tour of the studio. He gave me that Dan Fouts picture from the San Diego Sports Hall of Fame. It's like a replica. But anyway, he was talking about
Dan Fouts, the previous generation's Philip Rivers.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic. But he was talking about a conversation that he was at the Sports Hall of Fame, and this is probably back in like the 90s, and he was sitting between the director guy who gave me the thing was sitting between Tony Gwynn and Ted Williams at a dinner. Tony Gwynn and Ted Williams were talking about hitting. I mean, that'd be like Mozart and Beethoven talking about music, or Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci talking about art, or
I thought you were going to say about eating pizza.
Yeah, two of the greatest at what they did, just talking about their craft. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of hitters don't take that approach of a Tony Gwynn or an E Trio, where you hit them where they aren't, where you just instead, I love home runs, and they're sexy and cool, but at the end of the day, with the overshifts now, why not slap one to where they aren't? Why not, do get on base and get those singles? I think that makes for a little bit of a better game than just home runs, strikeouts, and
it's more dramatic.
Yeah.
Well, where they aren't, they're not in the stands.
Yeah.
It builds up the hype when it's a hit after a hit after a hit, after a strikeout, then a walk, then a hit. It just keeps going.
Can we go to these X Factors, and I could talk a little bit about the guy I chose for the American League West? Shohei, baby. Gotta say, how can you not enjoy watching this guy pitch right now? How can you not enjoy watching this guy hit? He is playing at a high level consistently, and if he keeps up this pace, and he has an ERA between like a 2.2 ERA up to even like a 2.8, if he's within that range, even if he ends up with like a 2.63 ERA, he gets 35 home runs. How is he not the MVP? Running away. If he makes 20 starts this year and he plays, 115 games in the hit as a hitter, forget about it. This dude's winning an MVP.
They are great, players who are revolutionizing the game and doing things we never thought possible. So I do agree, if it ends up being that way, if he stays healthy and he makes 20 starts and he, keeps smashing the ball and gets at least that, 30, 35 home runs, then yeah, I do think he's the MVP of the American League.
And let's face it, not being a great team hasn't stopped the Angels from having an MVP in their team the last few years.
Right, and Trout's hurt.
You're talking here who's going to be MVP or who has potential of being MVP. Now, this is X Factor. All right.
Yeah, and that's an X Factor for that division. It's you're pairing up Mike Trout with another MVP candidate? I mean, Houston hasn't exactly, set the world on fire.
I'm pretty sure the Angels are next to last in that division.
I mean, it's still early on. I mean, how many times, think back to 2015, the Mets were then in the water. A few things happened.
Right now, the Angels are worse than Texas in terms of record. Oakland is on first place, Houston in second.
Yeah.
But
hey, that was another pick I made. I think I did have Oakland over Houston.
Yeah. Oaktown.
I mean, I'm
Wow.
always rooting for Oakland. They're my AL team.
And just to sprinkle in one quick fact, but another X Factor I had, who just got a big save, Edwin Diaz, has converted his past 12 save opportunities as a Met,
Which
his
is
longest
about
Met streak.
time. Diaz is for sure a X factor for the Mets, but the biggest one, honestly, is Lindor. Unless his wheels start turning, there's not going to be too much offense.
I'm going. And I want to talk about my X Factor out of the AL East. And that is the new league leader in home runs, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Didn't you pick
Absolutely.
the health of the Yankees as your X Factor, though, JM, in the AL East?
I picked Vlad Guerrero Jr. for something. It was like either X Factor
I
or.
think Kyle picked Vlad Guerrero Jr.
No, I picked Vlad
hold
Guerrero
on.
Jr.
I remember me picking Vlad, and then
JM giving you a lot of shit for it.
JM giving me a Yankees pitcher, and then we went on to a few of the Yankees pitchers, and then I was like, basically, it's the whole Yankee lineup that just needs to stay healthy.
Yeah, this is another one where we got to go into the archives because JM, you're easily full of shit. You were trashing Canada, so there is no way you said Vlad Guerrero was the X
I
Factor.
picked Vlad Guerrero
You
Jr.
said the
Yes,
Yankees
I
held.
trashed. Yeah, that.
Okay, so besides my Mets, with the pitchers and injuries and Lindor, I have a different X factor. And Devin, you actually picked this, and that was Chris Paddock. And Chris Paddock finally had an actually great game. And if he continues that sort of pattern, then San Diego will continue to prosper.
We just won 9 in a row. Like, we're prospering.
What I'm saying is Chris Paddock has not been. But if he continues to
agree.
If he continues to thrive, you'll win even more games. So
right.
Really quick with the AL. I have two. Giolito on the White Sox. He's been sucking. I don't know what the hell is happening. Dylan Cease is great. Rodon is great. The White Sox got pieces, and it's honestly up to Giolito to sew them all together. I got this from today. I was deciding between two pitchers. I was talking to JM earlier, between Cole Irvin and Rich Hill. And of course, Rich Hill has the
Dick Mountain, you mean?
Dick Mountain, I guess, from Tampa Bay.
That's the penis reference you can use, JM.
He's old as hell and is prone to injuries, yet all of a sudden, within the last 4 or 5 games, he's been on fire. And I'm constantly afraid of picking him up and being like, well, is he gonna get hurt today? And then, of course, it's, he has another game. So if Rich Hill keeps it up and doesn't get injured somehow, I don't know how that won't happen. Tampa Bay will thrive in that division. So let's go on to the actors, our sitcoms.
When thinking about, who would be on my sitcom, and we need at least one female if it's going to be a male dominated cast, or one male if it's going to be a female dominated cast. So I first thought, okay, I need kind of like that straight guy, like the straight man of the group. And I don't know if my show is going to be animated or real life, but if I'm going to go with a straight man lead, I'm going to go H. John Benjamin. I'm going to start off with him because I know I'm going to get a good thing going.
He was on my list, Devin.
Yep, that's exactly who I thought when I told you 98% chance we had someone similar. That's who I thought it was.
I actually think he could be a real actor too, like on.
Yeah. He was.
Oh yeah, he could be either or. It would be great. Yeah. Now
he was in a bit role on a sitcom that TBS. If any TBS executives are watching it, how could you have canceled People of Earth, which was an excellent, underrated really funny, quirky comedy. And then I know it's been a few years since it was canceled, but then you put on that stupid one with the Chad, which like I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of it and it
Didn't
just
even
wasn't
watch one.
funny. Yeah, it's awkward. And, like people have heard funny. It was a bit quirky and weird, but it worked. TBS messed up big time, but H. John Benjamin plays the show's about like a alien abductee support group in upstate New York, and H. John Benjamin plays a small role as a cop. So he has been in some live action stuff. Obviously, better known for animated voices like Archer, like Bob's Burgers, the convenience store clerk from Family Guy. You know, he has a great voice. But yes, he has been in some live action sitcoms.
Next, I figured I would go with a female. My female character. It's gonna be kind of basic, pretty simple. I'm just gonna go Amy Poehler. I know she's funny, and she'll make whatever cast she's in work. My third member, I need that wild card. I need that X factor. I'm going with one of my personal favorites, Jason Mantzoukas.
Yeah,
Because
he
no
really
matter
does.
what role I get him, no matter what he
He's been in
is,
so many funny
he is
ones.
going to be a riot. He's just, he's probably my
Did you ever
ace in
watch
the
The Good
hole.
Place?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Eric is
Yeah.
great. For my fourth, you know, I wanted another classic character that, you know, I could easily just plop in and I know I don't have to worry about him. I'm going Danny DeVito. I feel like, you know, that's all I need for my cast. And, you know, getting on to pilot season.
For my sitcom, well, I'm going to start with the female. I'm going to go Caitlin Olsen. Very funny.
Okay.
I think Dee is like probably my favorite character on. She's one of my favorite characters, honestly, on It's Always Sunny. She has a lot of great moments, and I think the character evolution they made, she's going to be kind of like the voice of reason, but to make her like even like just this part of the gang that's terrible, like and just as bad, if not worse, than the rest of them was great. She's very funny, very and she's been in some other stuff too. I'm gonna go with Norm Macdonald. He was on a sitcom back in the
Okay.
90s
Okay.
called The Norm Show, which only lasted like 2 seasons. And I just started watching that one, and that one's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's
Um,
a good show.
and I love Norm. And also, he voices Pigeon on the best Adult Swim cartoon, Mike Tyson Mysteries.
You're obsessed.
Wait, I love that show. I think it's so funny. And like, it's just like really off the wall. So, Norm, you're on it. And I'm going to go with Rainn Wilson. Great experience with Dwight on The Office, kind of quirky. I also loved him in the movie The Meg, which I thought was like, I know it's kind of supposed to be a drama, but I thought it was hilarious. And it's about a megalodon shark, and I think they're making a second one. And as soon as it comes out, I'm going day one. And then I'm gonna go with Jason Alexander, best known for playing George Costanza back in the day on Seinfeld, and he's still pretty funny. If you see him on Curb Your Enthusiasm, he's pretty funny. So those are my four.
I think I only disagree with you on Rainn Wilson only because I feel like if he was on anything else, it'd be like, oh well, that's Dwight.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
In a
Yeah, I
way,
could
yeah.
see that.
like it
Like
seems like
picking
that's
the
the
guy who
only
was
one.
Sheldon. Like,
Yeah,
oh
Yeah.
no, you only see him as Sheldon, or yeah, it's just one of those things, maybe. All right, Kyle, who's
so
your four? You were very excited. It seems like.
so I'll start with the female lead. So Devin, you chose one of mine. And you chose Amy Poehler that I was thinking of. I was thinking Jane Lynch. She's always a nice thrill in anything she does.
Yeah,
And
you
then
got
I
a
was
lot of
thinking,
versatility with her.
yeah, and then I was thinking of a fewer smaller actors like Kristen Schaal and Lizzie Kaplan, who always like put on a good character. And Kristen Bell's my love. Like if there was a celebrity to date, it'd be her. But I'm gonna, and I was going going back to Seinfeld really quick, I was basically teetering between two people. Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who plays basically the most awesome female character ever written. I don't care what anyone says. I'm picking Sarah Silverman. She
Okay.
she plays anyone to the T. Let me compare Sarah Silverman to Amy Schumer. They're both sexual deviants, but Amy Schumer sucks. Sarah Silverman does it well. Anyway, that's
Okay.
my
I was gonna
tangent on
say.
that. That's my tangent on that one. I would have to go with Andy Samberg,
Okay.
Sasha Baron Cohen,
Ooh.
and Danny McBride. I'll give you really quick reasons for each one. Andy Samberg, I mean, I know I'm not just basing it off of Brooklyn Nine-Nine because
Ooh.
the movies I've seen.
Actually, I think I might make one quick change in mind. So, Kyle, if you would like Amy Poehler back,
No,
I'm going
good.
to swap. All right, you know, I'm just gonna make my quick swap now. Taking out Amy Poehler, putting in Judy Greer.
That's a good one. Judy Greer's
Oh
good.
yeah, good one.
I'm just making that quick substitution.
Anyway, so the real quick reasons I picked them is Danny McBride not only knows how to act, but he knows how to write. So it'd be a huge help to have him on the set to kind of help direct things as I'm
Especially with
directing.
Righteous Gemstones. Oh, that was so funny.
Exactly. Sasha Baron Cohen, I've liked him since Borat, The Dictator, everything like that. Any role he plays, he does it perfectly, and I can't help but laugh anytime he's on screen.
And actually, I'm gonna make one quick switch. I'm gonna make one quick switch. So Rainn Wilson out. I'm putting John Cleese in. I know he's a bit older, but Faulty Towers. So yeah, Rainn Wilson out. And a little shout out because it's gonna be about a hotel and it's gonna have John Cleese in it, much like Faulty Towers. But yeah, that's my little switch out.
Okay.
Anyway, everyone, thank you for subscribing, clicking that bell button, liking anything. We really
Comment who has
appreciate
the best sitcom,
it.
best
Comment
cast.
and we'll comment back and
This
we
is how
love
you
you
make an
guys.
M with your hand.